I'm going to clue you in on a secret phrase here. When I say it is my understanding, what that means is, A, I don't know, so I went on the interwebs and I Googleized, and from 2 or 3 different sites I've gathered information which I believe to be fairly accurate. Fairly accurate because any monkey can put anything on the interwebs and get spider crawled by the Googleizers that wants to. So here's my understanding when we talk about spalted wood. Maple, I think poplar was the other one. Might have been beech, I don't know. Doesn't matter because I don't have any one of those. Spalting is a fungus that causes a couple of different things. One of them is the lines, this dark line, which is, I guess, a defense mechanism protecting one batch of fungus from possibly another batch of fungus. The other thing that it does is it causes something called white rot, which is this area here. Flip it over. And you can see where it's kind of bleaching out there, which makes for some really cool patterns. But the downside of that is that when it takes that color out of there, you get this white rot stuff. You get what's called punky wood. Kind of, it's not as structurally stable. As other parts. This has got a split in it right there. That seems to be solid. I'm holding it up against, in case you're wondering, I have a light right there, and I'm backlighting this so I can kind of see. So because of that, there's a couple of things that we have to consider. We have to look for defects, which this one has a pretty good one right there. And then you can see there's some areas there. Apparently the crow has commentary to add. There are some areas here that are has some little holes in them, and so these have got to be stabilized. I've seen people do it mostly with cyanoacrylate glues, CA glues, super glues of all different ilks. I'm gonna look in a little bit and see if anybody's doing that with epoxy, because you're just trying to stabilize the wood. You're trying to just keep it where it is. And having done grain filling with Z-epoxy, I'm wondering if that's not an option. I don't know. We'll see. So I see. So I'll hold that thought. I was correct. My girls were coming back from the library, all giggly and horrible stuff. So that's what those are considerations that I have to make. Now this one, I know this spot is there, and that's not a saw cut. It's just split right there. So here is where we start kind of looking for this, and here's the reason. One of the reasons that I use this template is because there's not a lot of wiggle room here at all. I've got 1/2 inch one way, a little over a quarter of an inch the other way. So this particular piece, there's no way I can get out of that bad spot there. Just can't do it. And I'm looking for, because my soundboard is going to run this direction, and so I'm wanting my lines to go that same direction as well. Just something I got to consider for that piece of maple. I wasn't even thinking of that. I'm just looking at the little bird's eyes on that one. So I don't know. That looks kind of cool there. I will have that, again, I will have that dot to mess with. Now, I don't have to go, I can maybe go a little off axis. Yeah, I don't like that though. Now let's flip it over and look at the other side. That has some kind of, yeah, see, all the cool stuff is right there. Not all the cool stuff, but some of the cooler stuff. See, like that right there? That's kind of cool. That's not bad right there. The downside is if I do that, this defect, when I get on the back side, is a little longer on the back side, and it runs all the way across. So there's something to think about there. Now let's look at this one. This one, you can see I've got a knot right there. And that's something that has to be considered. And again, where's the cool piece in this wood? It's these right here. But you cover them up. There's some kind of cool there. Now if I shift it over here, I get more of the knot in, which I don't necessarily want. That is a little neater. I've got this and I've got that. Whereas if I come over here, that might be the place to go right there. Some nice lines over there, some nice lines over there. Flip it over. Oh, now we're talking. Now we're cooking with gas. Yeah, I really like that. Like right there. Yeah, that might be it right there. That looks kind of nifty. Where's my phone? Stand by. All right, here's a little better view, maybe. I think if we went with the bird's eye, we would pull it off to the right as much as we could. That way I get this kind of loop in. Yeah, there's all kinds of possibilities, and I'll have to make a decision at some point. But what I will do is when I decide what I'm going to do, is I've got my center marked, and then I can punch a hole down through that center mark, and then I can put it on my handy dandy Rosette sound hole Rosette channel jig, which I have to make, and I know what I'm going to make it out of, because I just happen to have lying around this really nice piece of oak floor tread. which is big enough that I can sink a dowel into, or a pin of some sort as a registration hole, and then using whatever method I'm going to use that as the pivot point. So yeah, I had to make that, so stand by.